Welcome to the Wired for Success podcast, your show for ambitious, mission driven entrepreneurs who understand that there's more to entrepreneurship than finding the latest flash in the pan strategies, who understand that in order to build your empire, you need a solid foundation. I wholeheartedly believe that entrepreneurship is the biggest self development journey you can be on, and it's my mission to help you make that journey easier. In this show, I bring together the very best from science, self development, and entrepreneurship to set you up for sustainable success. Hi, I'm Claudia Garbutt, the scientist and mindset coach behind this show, and you're listening to the Wired for Success podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Wired for Success podcast, where we talk about all things science, self development, and entrepreneurship. Today, I'm excited to welcome Amazon bestselling author and productivity specialist, Patrick Lerouge. Patrick has been in holistic health since 2000 and has helped thousands of clients make more money and live their lives without burnout and feeling stuck. So welcome, Patrick, and thank you so much for being on my show today.
Thank you so much, Claudia, for having me. I'm excited to have a lovely little conversation with you.
I'm really looking forward to it too. So Patrick, the first thing that I'd like to know is how you got started doing what you're doing today. So what is your background and how did you get to this point in your career?
That's always a fun question for me. And I could go on for days for that, but it's mainly, I started off as a body worker and I quickly learned because I was a basketball player that I was dislocating carpals, I was hurting myself a lot, that I had to learn how to fix myself. Mm-hmm. And it took a long time, like my first 7 years of mastering that. I was really good at getting people out of pain relatively quickly, whether I was touching them or not. And then it was a moment where my mother-in-law actually grilled me at the time and was saying, how am I going to take care of her daughter due to the fact that my wife now, due to the fact that I always had more times off of working than not. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I went into energetic work because I couldn't keep on doing the hands-on practice work because it was hurting me more times than not. It was my last ditch effort. And I met my first mentor, and that was in 2007. Once I met that mentor, he's the first person that challenged me as a man, challenged me to really live up to my full potential so I can actually do the things that I want to do. And in our first visit was one of my miracle stories, let's call it, is where I actually healed my eyes. I went from legally blind to being able to see. It's always a fun story to do that, but within that next 6 months of doing all the exercise, doing all the things, and then miraculously having my eyes done, I took advantage of it. I was a young, brash little kid that didn't really respect what he got. So I was using it as a parlor trick a lot, and I made a lot of money from it. I helped people, but I also gained from it in the not so happy way. And I learned a lesson from that, because after 6 months of me having great vision and playing the games of, look, I can see, I can help you get better, I lost my vision. So the next 10 years plus, I had to learn all the things about me, which then designed my Live Pain-Free process, which then evolved into my three system now, all about learning who you are and learning how to stay within your limits, learning how to drop your nervous system so you can actually perform better, so you can actually do more and not feel pressured at all, not feel any type of way. And that's the key component of what I do, is teaching people to have the experience rather than the tactics. Lead with your experience, your feeling, your nature inside yourself.
Yeah, that's a great story. And thank you for your honesty, because it takes a lot of courage to also admit when you did something that maybe wasn't that as aligned as you would have wanted it to be, and then learn a lesson and improve things. So congratulations.
That was one of the things I had to learn. And I always pause right before I tell that story, just so I don't make the same mistake. Right. Because it's a feeling that I don't want to say it's humbling. Like, I have to really realize I really effed that up, and I can do it all over again, because there's a thin line between like bragging and then expressing to somebody what they're capable of.
Yeah.
And the more and more you give them that power back, the better you are. But I wasn't graceful back then. I was very, very, oh, look what I can do. Woo! You know, I was the 27-year-old guy that was ridiculous. And I had to learn that in order for me to heal my eyes. So now I take a second and I tell my story so other people can realize you can do way more than you ever imagined. You can get the 100K that you're looking to make yourself feel better. You can be the high performing business person as well as the parent. All you have to do is realize who you are and what's actually happening inside, and then own up to it.
Yeah.
And then once that happens, your body just starts moving, your brain starts getting clearer, and you just start feeling happy again.
Which is a great thing. So what would you say, what do you enjoy most about the work that you're doing right now?
All right. All right. So what I love is I teach high producers how to turn their really busy, stressful days into peaceful, slow paced days.
Mm-hmm.
And because I accelerate someone's growth, I enjoy watching it. It's an epic watch because I identify all the limiting blocks that they have, and I create these growth habits that are sustainable. They're just not flash in the past things. And the real fun part is that I like to express is all you need is a 10% boost in productivity, a natural boost that will change everything. It's no more about push harder, go harder, grind. It's about learning to slow down to actually speed up. And one of the exercises that I teach around the 10% is you already kind of do it now. So if you're ever driving for a half a second, look down and look at the white lines that's actually happening, right? It's easier if you're not driving, by the way. That's my disclaimer. Don't do this while you're driving. But if you're driving like 70, look down and the lines are going really fast and you might be able to catch the line for a nanosecond. That's us living our life. We're driving really, really fast and we're trying to catch something and it's moving so fast. It's blurry. You can do it and you do it. Like, I can see it. That is the life that we live now. But when you see this fast world moving slow is equivalent to you looking out as far as you can down the road and looking at those same white lines. Everything seems to be moving so slow. And it's like, you're still moving 70, but everything is like, oh, look at that. That is when everything is balanced inside your body. That's when you're in your business and you're running the show and you're doing things. That's when your busy, stressful days turn into slow paced. Like, oh, I'm really knocking it out. It's like you see the world moving completely different. That is what everybody's capable of. And that's my fun part that I love getting to, because once they start seeing the world moving slow, they're like, oh man, I really didn't realize how pent up I was. And there was a different way. So that was one of the exercises I teach. But I was like, first things first, you have to realize I am not tactical. I'm not going to teach you the next sales technique. I'm going to teach you how to recondition your hardwire inside so everything excels. And once that happens, the world just slows down and you're just like, all right, this is easy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I totally relate to that. It's all about this shift in perspective, if you want, not focus on the details so much, but see the big picture and be guided by your vision, right? It's just this shift that changes a lot. But we all know that business is not just sunshine and unicorns, right? So if you could change just one thing about your business, what would it be? Or in other words, what is it that you would like to tweak or improve, and how do you plan on doing that?
That is an awesome question, because would you like to know what I've changed in the past to grow to where I am now? I got stories for days, but currently, which one are you looking for?
I'm looking for the ones that or the things that you're planning for the future. I want to see where you are now and where you're headed.
All right. So where I'm at now is, because of the uncertain world, everybody has gone into panic mode and their nervous system is so heightened. And because they're so heightened, you're going to know this very well, parts of their brain literally turn off.
Yeah.
You cannot be in a place of now when you're worried about the future and the fear of what's happening. And then I miss the days of the past where I was able to not be with my family, quiet myself down, to have my routines. And the way out is right here, being present. So what I'm changing, I would say the struggle or the thing that I'm going to is getting people out of giving a tool more power than themselves. Mm-hmm. Right? They need to learn how to be back into themselves, into their bodies, and go with the thing that's always been with them. Their health is their priority, but no one's doing that. The more people are fearing, the more people are worried about what's about to happen, the more they can't make money to survive what's about to happen, the more they can't talk to clients because they're using so much RAM inside their brain that they can't talk with them and be with that person and love up on that person the way that they can. So the hardest part for me is shifting a person from, I need this hot tactic, this tool, this thing, into, by the way, you are the tactic, you are the tool, you are the thing that you need. You just need to slow down a second and take a breath. Allow your body to be, so whatever you do, you can do it even better. And that's my struggle, is getting a person to shift their perspective from looking outward, saying that's trying to kill me, then saying, I can take anything. I can do it.
Yeah.
Getting more clients, getting them more money, getting more time, because everyone's saying, I don't have time, where we lost a lot. We don't have to commute anymore. We don't have to do so many different things because everyone is based at home, but yet we have less time than we did before because all that extra time is based off of mental gymnastics. And they're thinking about all these different things rather than realizing they got it right here. That's my hurdle. That's what I have to shift people from. So shifting people from that outward projection to looking inwards and saying, I can do even more with what I got.
Yeah, that is really powerful. And that is something that I help my clients with as well, because it's so important to be able to control your mind. If you have this monkey mind running your business and you're just all over the place, you just can't focus on doing what's going to move the needle for you. And you can't focus on your health, which always has to be, at least for me, as a cancer survivor, I know that for me, health is a priority. And in the past, it's something that, when things got hectic and chaotic, sometimes I just wouldn't do my exercises because I prioritized something else. But over the years, I have learned that, especially during those times when things are hectic and chaotic, you have to keep practicing. You have to keep your routines, your workout, the things that keep you sane and healthy, because otherwise it's a slippery slope, right? And before you know it, you end up with a burnout, and that's nothing that you want to happen.
That's not fun. That's where the concept of dis-ease comes in, because your body's eventually going to pop. And I love this concept. And because I'm so different and because I do things in so many different ways, people always talk about the monkey mind. Oh, it's going crazy. I'm going crazy. But the way to defeat the monkey mind is not another tool, another piece of tech. Let's go into my CRM. Let's go into my task management. Let's go map everything out. It's not. That's just feeding into the monkey mind. It's actually giving into your body. And that's where I take my productivity completely different, because everything I do is an experience. You have to make it real. You have to feel it inside your body, not think what you should feel. And the easiest way that I get people to do it is think about, all right, your heart's beating right now. You have a nanosecond. Touch your heart and tell me if you can feel your heartbeat. Try that right now. And you're going to realize you're going to have a microsecond of like, wait, am I alive? And that because your nervous system is heightened. And every single one of my high producers is like, yeah, I know I'm breathing. I was like, can you feel it? They're like, yeah. And you'll move it a second. I'll be like, there it goes. Like that second of you moving it shows me how much you're in your mind and you're thinking it's there, rather than knowing exactly right to where to put it. The other one is, how are you breathing? Don't think where you're supposed to be breathing, what's actually happening. And if you're here, your nervous system's heightened. I'm so sorry. But now, how did that happen is the next step. It's actually because you have a whole bunch of preconditioned thoughts that put you in that place to think so much. And that's where my practice comes in, is I get you into an experience of getting back in your body, seeing those blocks, seeing those beliefs that's stopping you from being productive, that forces you into a procrastinative state, forces you not to take action all the time. And I clear those out by getting you aware of them, by experiencing things, putting it back into your body and having your supercomputer as well as your super organism work at its best.
That's
World slows down, you run with it.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying, because that's kind of what I'm doing as well. So for someone like me, who also helps those probably the same kind of people as you do, those ambitious and mission-driven entrepreneurs who want to become more productive without losing their relationship or health or sanity along the way, I'm always curious about how other people help their clients get more productive. So you already told us a little bit about your system, but maybe you can go a little more into detail about your 3C system and how it helps your high achievers.
So everyone thinks about things need to be really, really big, really, really hard. I have to get people to slow things down. So I have 3Cs: competition, comfort, as well as confidence. So your competition is, you want to decimate your competition. Everybody wants to, like, if you want to come at me, I'm going to kill you. You're done. It's over. And you have this fight because we're that A-type personality. We're not going to like lean away from it. That's why we are so good at what we're doing. We have this, not a competitive nature, but we have something there, right? We will keep on going. We're persevere. But your biggest competition is not outside, it's inside. So I have to teach people within my book that I wrote, Getting More Things Done in Less Time. It's all about learning who you are. The first bunch of chapters is all about knowing who you are and defeating that person and going up against that person and learning how to do that, which means you have to understand who you are, what's happening inside, which then you start to realize that you are not optimizing your body. You're just trying to think things through, and you have to learn how to balance those and work together. And then you have to learn how to really get at it and really understand you are creating a world that's not right for you. And that's just the first bunch of chapters. You see the beliefs that you're happening, and that's how you defeat your greatest competitor, which is you. And if you always are working with that and coming against that wall, no competition is going to get you. And if someone does get you, you're just going to be like, yes, I love it. Let me work that much better. Let me get even more efficient, because I'm doing it in such a way that it's actually like, it's not hard work. It's not like I'm doing the best I can. It's like I'm working as efficient I can and someone beat me. That means I just have to keep on doing it, and I'm just going to grow. And that's my growth strategy that's sustainable, because you're always coming up to your wall, not somebody else's, which then brings you into, if you're doing that, you get into this place that you're comfortable at any level. So when you hit your new stride, you're not overstretching to start with, so you don't burn out. You're comfortable. You work into a place where you're just like, oh, I belong here. This is great. Rather than pushing so hard and come in there sweating. You're like, oh, I can barely handle it now. And now I got to do even more, because every level you hit comes with new demands on your system, mentally as well as physically. And if you're burning yourself at like both ends, getting to that new place, I'm so sorry. It's a recipe for burnout. So I teach people how to manage. I call it the not so typical routine, because what's right for you is not right for somebody else. And as you're going through the 3Cs, you end up into this place where you shine natural confidence, because you're consistently working with yourself, as well as now at that point, you're shifting your gaze outwards into I'm helping someone else. So my shit is my shit, your shit is your shit. I'm going to help you with your shit without entangling the two, because now you know who you are. So when I work with relationships, I get them to go through the whole thing and then realize, this is you, who is she? And then you do the same thing for her or for him, right? And as you do that, you start to understand and see that person. Same thing with clients. Same thing with anybody else that comes around your way. Then you separate the two and realize you guys are working together for a common good, rather than the codependency that happens, rather than the if, then, or push, the tic-tac, the love-hate thing. All that thing goes away. Then you guys start working together. That's where people start to finish their sentences. They're like, oh, yeah, I know that. Like, that's where things start to happen in this real beautiful way, because now you know who you are, you know your limits, and you're understanding who they are, and you understand their limits. Then
Yeah.
you never overstep, and it's really quite beautiful to watch.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. I mean, it's always about raising the awareness of who you are as a person first, and owning that, right? You have to own your weaknesses. You have to own your strength in order to be confident and show up as the best possible version of yourself. And that is something that also allows you to to face those challenges that will always be there, and to really um, to maintain your energy level and use it in a way that's going to serve others as well as yourself, so you can help others. Once you know what's good for you and how you can help yourself, you have to understand yourself first, right?
Most people, like, it's in our culture though. It's like a human condition, and like when we talk about challenges, it's everyone doesn't. It's taboo to be vulnerable. It- what's a good one? I hope you're like sex. Sex is not like, you don't talk about sex, and most people don't do it as children, talk about it right. So they never learn the habits to even communicate with their spouses, where that's the thing. Like, that's how we communicate. That's how but you're afraid to talk about it. And if you're draining your energy trying to figure out how to communicate with that because it's taboo, it's because you don't know yourself. So it's in our culture not to talk about the things that make us vulnerable, that make us better. And that's the hard part. And I wouldn't even call it hard part on the person, because as soon as it happens, it's like, bleh. It's just coming up. It comes up to that wall and you're just like, oh, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. And it's like, it's all right. This is a safe place. You just have to learn how to create that safe place, hold boundaries, hold space for that. And once that happens, it's like verbal vomit. You're just like, oh, wow, this feels so good. I'm just going to keep on going. And then things start to miraculously change. You start speaking what you need versus what you want with your spouse, with work, with clients. You start creating this world where things start to change around you, and people want to be in that because it's so sweet. It is so awesome. And that's all because you did your own work. And a lot of people believe that you have to push harder, you have to hide your vulnerabilities. You can't be that person because the world, and they're right, is not ready for it. The world demonizes it.
Mm.
But the shift is coming. Things are starting to change. And if you don't have it, the wall is coming and you will fall. It will happen because more and more people, especially now, the fact that we are not allowed to touch each other and they're demonized touching and they demonize everything, our human organism needs it. It craves it. So if you can show love and show who you are, people are going to run towards you without them even knowing why. It's because you're not saying, come here, but stay away. You're just like, come on, bring it. I love you. Like, that's the whole thing. That's the like, I'm animated. I'm sorry. I like to have some fun.
I love it. So one very common belief that I've heard a lot, and that a lot of people have when it comes to increasing productivity, is that it is so hard to do, when actually it doesn't really take big changes to make a big impact, right? So to me, one of the key aspects of increasing your productivity is prioritizing, because it leads to increased focus and it frees up a ton of time and energy when you let go of all the things that aren't serving you anymore. So in a sense, as I see it, increasing productivity often comes down to doing less instead of trying to fit more into your day. How do you see this?
I have, within my 3C system, there's three stages, three flows, let's say. There's automate, delegate, eliminate. Everybody understands those. But when people think about productivity, they're on the tech side. I'm on the experience side. I have to get you to experience. So how do you automate a big experience, a task, anything? Is you have to understand who you are and do things based off of who you are and what you need, which then your body automatically turns over. And that's how I healed my eyes. I started to understand who I was, what was happening. And I started to align things and my eyes just started turning back on, because that's what the body does. Then you go into a stage of delegate, and everybody knows about delegation. Give it away. But what I want people to do is start taking extreme action, constant action but it's based off of what your limits are, the things that you have to get into the habit of doing things consistently within your limits all the time, doing it within your limits, that conditions you to do things all the time in your limits. And then give away. After that's all said, then you eliminate all the things that no longer serve you because you know it drains you. You know it drains you. So you're like, oh, that doesn't work. And then you naturally say, no, I don't like to do that, because you're always doing things in your limits based off of who you are, and it starts to flow all on its own. So yes, you give away all the things that no longer serve you, but now you know what doesn't serve you. You feel it inside your body that, like, when I do admin work, an hour takes me 3 and I feel exhausted afterwards, but then I lose the 4th hour and but you have to sit in that for a minute to realize that that's not your zone, right? But then you also use that time to look at why it's not efficient, why that's not happening. Yeah, that thing is going away, but first you have to figure out why it's not going away so you can patch that hole. Because that belief of, I don't believe in numbers, I can't think fastly, I can't do it, I can't, if, should, would, all these different things are beliefs that's also trickling in the other world of the elimination portion of, I don't feel like I'm enough. Those are the things that's dictating you the reason why you can't do it. So eventually all of my clients get really proficient at all areas of their business. They just don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. And they're like, that's when you give it away, because now you can run even faster other way in the other place, all based off of that very first step. Everyone jacks up the first step, but then leaves holes in their foundation in the other steps of delegation and elimination in that way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are great tips. Thank you so much for sharing. Now, as someone who has helped a lot of people improve their lives and become more productive, what's the worst advice that you hear a lot in your industry?
Okay. I'm going to take a sip on that one. No, that's easy. It's easy. But it's not what you think.
Okay. Surprising.
Everyone knows you're supposed to slow down. But in our world, in our culture, we believe in our heads, slow down equates to stop. And the easiest example I can give is when I was teaching people, they would go about pain relief. They would go to the doctor. The doctor said, all right, you have to be on bed rest because this area can't move. So you have to stop. It's in us. It's been ingrained in us for so long that slow down equates to stop, which means you don't do the action. And that's absolutely the worst thing that you can do, is actually stop the action. Slow down means find your limit, stay within your limit, but do it at an easier pace. So my thing that I hear a lot is, oh, you just have to stop. You have to slow down. But people don't realize what they perceive the word slow down is stop. So you have to stop running because it's hurting your back, for instance. And I was like, okay, you're hurting your back. So you stop running, but then you create way more compensation patterns that no longer serve you for when you try to get back to running. And it equates to, you're not really good at communicating with a person via phone or video. So you go through long form text message or long form messaging. But what happens when you eventually get that person in front of you? You didn't lose the trick of feeling them. You didn't get them, and you didn't see that connection that needs to happen. So then you start getting a lot of people towards you, but then you're not closing. You're not closing because you never learned how to connect. So you have to slow down a smidgen, not stop it, but slow down a smidgen just to see where your fault is. And it's not a bad thing to have faults. Everyone's just like, I shouldn't do that. It's like, no, you should. You need to learn what's going on within you. And once you have that, then you're just like, all right, I'm proficient at it. I'm just not gonna, now I can ship it away.
Awesome.
That's when it's like, all right, there we go. So my greatest thing that I see people messing up in that world, and I wouldn't even call it messing up. They're not seeing that the psychology of the culture that dictates what we do is slow down equates to stop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So slow down, don't stop.
Slow down, don't stop. Yes.
Perfect. So when you think back on your own entrepreneurial journey, if you could travel back in time to when you just started out, what advice would you like to give your younger self to make your journey easier?
That one. Slow down. Slow down. Actually, it's a little bit more fun because it's not just slow down. It's like learn that you move extremely fast. Your processor is really, really fast. And sometimes I say things before I even think about it. Like that's how fast it moves. And that's so many people. It's learn that's who you are. And then learn how to feel that's who you are so you know when to pull the brake on a little bit and learn that there's a reason why you're like that. You're trying to get ahead of things. So it's more slow down and experience everything. Like experience what's actually happening inside your body as things are happening. Because I made it this far, just like, all right, time to do it, time to do it. Shoot, 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 shoot. Now it's going. And that's the majority of us. And then things start to happen. Things start to go wrong. And then I'm so far into this habit loop of go, 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 that it's hard to slow down that break now because I have so many years put in of pushing now. And that's currently where I'm at now. Like, I know that's the thing that I'm working on. That's the thing that needs to be reined in. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything else that you'd like to share that we haven't touched on so far?
Wow. Okay. That I haven't touched on. Investing in yourself. That's something I see a lot. A lot of people that are high producers, they do invest in themselves, but they forget to keep on investing in themselves. They've been burnt in the past. They're starting to get a harder exterior coat, as well as they stop trusting people as easily, which is granted because they've been burnt in the past. But they have to realize if they stop trusting and they stop investing in themselves, they're never going to get to that next level that they're going to. Right. And that's very, very hard for people to even hear. They're like, no, I have coaches, I have this. I was like, yeah, but the people that could really help you might not be where you're looking. And the fact that you're only looking in that direction means that you're ignoring all these other things that actually can help you boost so much more. So you have to have this open mind and then like, all right, that could help me. I wonder how, rather than saying no, not at all. And investing into something that's not like everyone's like ROI positive. Yes, it might not be ROI positive up front, but it's going to triple your worth later. Right. And people always look for that quick return, and that's awesome. The quick return is awesome, and that's what we truly want. But what really matters is what's going to help you compound everything. And the best investment that you can ever do is investing in yourself. Now that we talked about vulnerability, is what's going to help you deal with that stuff that you're trying to suppress, even you don't want to talk about, is what you need to invest in. And so many people don't go there. So I would say that's the one thing I would like to have more conversations about.
Right? Yeah, that's a great point you're making there. Because a lot of people, they are quick to invest in strategies and tools, but not so much into like things like personal development that actually builds the foundation for their future sustainable growth, right? Now, the last question that I have for you today is just, what's the best place for our listeners to find you online if they want to connect with you?
I am proud to say I'm running my process. So I am Facebook bound, working into LinkedIn, but I'm still doing all my social media. So your fastest, easiest way is DM me. You DM me and I give away a lot of stuff, a lot of value to help a person go through. So if you DM me, say hi, I'm actually going to have a conversation with you. And don't be surprised if I say, how are you doing? What are you working on? What's going on? And actually want to understand who you are before I can even know if I can help you. So don't be afraid to just say, what's up? And I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to try to understand if you work and you want to absorb my stuff, go ahead. If you want to take a step closer, I have a free group. Go into that. I give you even more there. So Facebook is my place to go, Patrick Lerouge, and just say hi. Literally just say hi. And I have many different things that I give away to get a person to balance their mind and body so they can tap into that small percentage that you need, that 10% I was talking about before. All you need is 10% of boosting in productivity to change everything. And so many people think it needs to be all or nothing. No, it doesn't. It's just a small little bit makes a massive change. So DM me and get your small little percent.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Patrick, for sharing all your insights and wisdom with us today. And I really appreciate it. And it was so much fun talking with you today.
Thank you.
So take care and talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for listening to the Wired for Success podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please take a sec to rate and review my show. It would mean the world to me because you'd help me reach more entrepreneurs like yourself who would love this show. If you'd like to learn more about creating a widely successful business without sacrificing your health, relationships, or sanity, make sure to stick around and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And why don't you help me spread the word and share this show with your friends? I'd really appreciate it, and I'm sure your friends will too. Want to continue this conversation, build real relationships, and join a community of like-minded entrepreneurs? Come join my free Facebook community for visionary entrepreneurs. I would love to see you there. In the meantime, if you haven't done so already, grab my free brain priming audio file for entrepreneurs and start priming your brain for success in less than 5 minutes each morning. Curious? You can learn more about how this works and download the audio file at www.wiredforsuccess.solutions. Until next time, bye!